What's up everyone, it's Herd85. Welcome to episode number 8 on my WCW Done Deal game. We're now in December on the road to Starrcade. So a new Nitro is booked. We've got new feuds beginning. So here we go. We're starting off with a 6-man cruiserweight match to warm the crowd up. Red, Crowbar, Yang, Psychosis, Taka, and the winner Chavo Guerrero Jr. We got 63. Rey Mysterio picks up a win over Hugh Morris and C.W. Anderson in a pre-show match. Got 71. That's quite a high rating, to be fair, for a pre-show. So the main show, we're starting off with a segment which involves Ric Flair. He is now turned to a face. He's gone good, and he has challenged Lance Storm tonight. It will be a non-title match. Flair wins, he gets a title shot. Simple as that. For this segment, I gave Major Guns rating on entertainment skills instead of just her looks to see if it would help, but probably not. Not 83 is not bad though. Random 6-man tag. DDP teaming up with 2LK again to beat Hayes and the Wyndham Brothers. I got 72. Conan suffered a slight injury as well in the match. Dustin Rhodes has an interview where he swears that he'll get revenge on Booker T. Basically, he blames Booker T for losing, even though it was Dustin that got pinned. 74. Chronic defeat Carino and Kikash. The High Tides. 65. Fit Finley faces Monty Brown this week. Brown picks up the win with a pounce. That got 65. Brown's now sort of cemented as a mid-carder on my roster after those two big feuds with Flair and Savage. So this is a new feud beginning over the Cruiserweight title. Tori Wilson and Dawn Marie basically get into a fight, had to be broken up by Billy Kidman, who is with Tori Wilson, and Christopher Daniels as Dawn Marie's part of Team Madness. 67 is not bad. Tag match, a little bit of a continuation for the Punk Jarrett feud. Jeff Jarrett and Johnny B. Bad defeat Punk and Liger. Johnny B. Bad wins with the Shooting Stars press after Stacy Keibler got involved. 77, still quite good. Dustin Rhodes is shown having a conversation with someone on screen. As the camera pans back, it's revealed he's actually talking to himself. So Dustin's descending into madness. 72. Steiner Warriors are arguing with Buff and Shane Douglas. Dusty Rhodes is passing by and he says they can settle it in a tag match right now for the tag titles. So these guys were a team at War Games, basically just fallen out now. And the changing of the titles. Bagwell and Douglas defeat the Steiner Warriors with a roll-up pin. Douglas and Bagwell are now in their second reign as tag team champions, so they sort of steal the titles here. 74. Freestyle segment with again Team Madness and Tori Wilson and Billy Kidman. Basically, Savage warns Kidman to control his lady. Sean O'Haire issues an open challenge for anyone to face him. I got 94. That shows you how over Sean O'Haire is. He is. Segments are always rated on menace because he's got quite a decent menace stat. Sean O'Haire defeats Lex Luger, who answers the call. Sean O'Haire's now made 12 title defenses. I got 73. Main event. Gave this one a bit of time, 20 minutes. Ric Flair defeats Lance Storm in a non-title match. Good tester to see if it will do well on the pay-per-view. Following the match, Ric Flair is being attacked by Mike Awesome and Lance Storm. Seeing this result, Booker T runs in and helps Flair. I got an 89, and just before I continue, I shall book Booker T and Ric Flair against Lance Storm and Mike Awesome for next week's Nitro. 83, strong start to the month. So Ric Flair winning, that gives him the #1 contendership to the US title. So Raw got a 88, Scott Hall The Rock got a 99. Conan got a slight injury. He's gonna still work through it. I just gotta be careful how I book him. Kenzo Suzuki, huh? So we're doing alright profit wise, still making money. So straight away at Starrcade, I'm already gonna book it. Ric Flair versus Lance Storm is the first match on the card. Starrcade. Can't go wrong there, hopefully. That also means Flair's stable, the icons, are now over. That was Flair, his son David, who's in development, Kurt Hennig, who's in rehab, and the Wyndhams. 86 for SmackDown, Edge and Christian over the Brothers of Destruction. Tell you what, WWE always have disqualifications. I find that weird. Frustrated Vampiro. Basically, Vampiro's in rehab, so he will be back in my roster, but he's still got about 3 months to go. Which is a shame because I like Vampiro. And that's also the same for Sting and a few others. WCW vs the World, AJ Styles is the star. His match got 60 with Shawn Stasiak. We've got a new women's champion as well, the Alpha Female. Wins the women's title. Super Crazy asking to get taken out of development again. Every week he asks. Oh, John Cena touring with ECCW. Let's have a look, see. Jamie Noble there. Air Raid was against Jidrak Stasiak, Noble faced Rude and Ricky Bandanas. Lundig Borak. Remember when WWF back in the day pushed him as a top heel? Just because he was foreign? Or Islamic? I want to say. Remember he beat Tatanka. New Japan Pro Wrestling. World's Strongest Tag League. Hayes, who's actually on my roster won that. Shows you how over he is in Japan. That man. He's on the WCW roster. He's got 80 overness in Japan, but only 30 in America. So shows you the difference. The main eventer over there, and over here he's literally a opener. Hence why I picked him up. Great talent. Conan's fully fit, so that shows you his injury was alright. Okay, and that looks like all the news. So we'll get on to the next episode of Nitro. Okay, the next Nitro is booked. This one is quite an action-packed show. Card is absolutely stacked. Lots of storytelling now, lots of storytelling. So Hugh Morris picks up a win in the pre-show match against Finley. He's got 67. Load of faces together here. Chronic, Sean O'Hare. Mysterio defeat Hayes. Kendall with Mr. Rios and Psychosis. Has got 68. Main show. Dustin Rhodes is arguing with Booker T about Mike Awesome. He's got 74. Didn't expect that. I left this blank. Tanaka picks up a win over CW Anderson in a quick match. 56 rating. Chavo Guerrero wins again. Defeats Amazing Red with the Gory Special. That's got a 71. DDP having a bit of an argument with Lex Luger. Gets heated. Eric Bischoff's walking by and books a singles match between the two tonight. 82. That's quite high, to be fair. Samoa Joe picks up a win over Butterbean, the WCW jobber. 46. Tori Wilson comes up on Billy Kay backstage. He apparently has been rumoured to be hitting on Dawn Marie. Kidman denies it and says Tori's mistaken. 68. Dustin Rhodes moans to his dad Dustin and wants a world title match against Mike Awesome. Dusty rejects the request, says he has to actually earn the shot. This annoys Dustin and he storms off. 72. Tag match, bit of an upset here. Carino and Kid Cash defeat BG James and Conan. Carino cheats and hits BG with a foreign object to pick up the win. Contemplating putting Cash and Carino as a tag team. Jarrett's backstage. CM Punk comes out hiding and attacks and bundles Jarrett into a waiting car. Punk then speeds off in 82. Barry Windham singles win over Terry Funk. 63. Savage, Dawn Marie and Billy Kidman and Tori Wilson have a heated exchange. Savage issues a warning again. 64. Again, these are trying to get the women over a bit, so they've got low overness. Tag match. The Empire, Taka and La Parka defeat the Young Dragons with the Michinoku driver. That's got 75. Very good mid-card match. Another Dustin Rhodes angle. He's walking down the corridor, starts having an argument with himself before grabbing a chair and hitting himself in the head. As for officials and backstage scatter, he starts having a wild hardcore brawl with himself. That's got 69. Not the highest angles, but anyway, new feud here. Bagwell and Douglas come to the ring. Set up a celebration to show off the new titles to the crowd. However, the Steiner Warriors show up, clearly not impressed, and proceed to beat up the new champions. 85. Now this one's an all-heel feud. As I haven't decided if I want to make Warrior and Animal faces yet. Monty Brown defeats Johnny B. Bad with the pounce. That's got 70. Not too bad. Jarrett Punk has abducted Jarrett. He threatens to throw him in the river unless he gets a title shot. That's a bit random because Jarrett doesn't have a title, but it's got an 86. It was basically one of the pre-made angles that are on the game. Singles match. DDP defeats Lex Luger with a diamond cutter. It's got 72. Main event. Flair and Booker didn't work well as a team, but anyway, Booker T and Ric Flair defeat Team Canada. Booker T pins Mike Awesome. It's got 77. Following the match though, Dustin Rhodes attacks Booker T after the match. To the amazement and outrage of all, he power drives Booker, that should be, through the ringside table. And this also completes the heel turn of Dustin Rhodes. Yeah, 79, I didn't really expect it to be too high because there was a lot of Dustin Rhodes angles. Because I wanted to complete his heel turn. Making him a bit crazy. So Dustin Rhodes has gone heel. Getting a lot of people failing steroid tests at the moment. Raw got an 86. The Rock defeats the Big Show. Well, it's the Big Show. So Dustin Rhodes, openness wise, is 61, which I suppose is alright. He isn't a bad asset to have in a roster. I actually like Dustin Rhodes. Chris Jericho defeats Triple H, like 197. SmackDown got a 90. Funaki, SmackDown's #1 announcer. Let's have a little skim through. Stasiak and Jindrak title win. So Stasiak and Jindrak are my new developmental tag team champions. WCW vs the World. AJ defeated James Storms in the main event, and Jindrak and Stasiak beat Doring and Roadkill to retain the titles, win the titles. New team here. Chris Hero will be teaming up regularly with Daniel Bryan, or Bryan Danielson, called Pressure Drop. Imagine Castellano knowing Daniel Bryan in real life. I think that would be a pretty cool team. Okay, nothing too interesting. The Blossom twins have both started to get hiring. Last week Hannah was hired, and now this week Holly was been hired. Oh, Butterbean, the jobber. He's left. So he started at me at 60 overness. He's gone down to 42. So that shows you how much he lost. AJ Styles, always the start. Air Raid defeated Brian Lee and David Flair in the main event. Balls Mahoney and the Warrior aren't getting on. Shocker, the Warrior ain't getting on with people. I'd be shocked. CMLL had their pay-per-view 78. Valentino 5 on the CMLL World title. Lots of title changes here. CCW, what did they have? Cage of Death. 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 Cage of So my developmentals, Starrcade, Bryan Danielson was the star. Alex Wright was over Ellis Miller in the main event. Who did Daniel Bryan face? Pressure Drop lost to the tag champs. So he was in a tag match with Stasiak. And yeah, that's my first women's champion. In case you didn't know who she was, that is Oka. She's in my developmental. Obviously you know who BG James is. He's on my roster. The Road Dog, Jesse James. Right, soon it's coming up week 3 Nitro. Going by what happened in the last show, it's likely to. Oh, Armageddon got 93. Eddie Guerrero over Kurt Angle got a 99. I would totally watch that. Who wouldn't watch Eddie Guerrero? Oh, the Hollies are in their second tag title reign. They won the vacated tag titles. I think that's because Triple H is injured. Who did they beat? Who did the Hollies beat to become tag champ? X Factor, huh? X Factor. Oh, Molly Holly beat Trish. So Molly Holly, Hardcore Holly, and Crash Holly all won titles. Cool. Joey Matthews. I think I'm going to give this guy a developmental contract actually. 3 more years. Alright, up next will be the 3rd episode of Nitro. Okay, we're now at week 3 in December for Nitro. Show's all ready to go. Big match in the main event. So just to warm up, Nigel McGuinness picking up a singles win over Crowbar and Terry Funk. This should help Nigel get more and more over. Getting the 62 is always good. A random tag just to get usage out of DDP, Bonnie Brown, Sean O'Hare, Chronic, beat the Wyndhams, Hayes, Jolly Be Bad, and Finley. 71. Booker T comes to the ring. He demands a match tonight with Dustin Rhodes, who interrupts. They have a big argument, and it's agreed they will fight one-on-one tonight. Dustin Rhodes versus Booker T. 92. Samoa Joe continuing this mini sort of surge up the card, beats Jim Duggan with a muscle buster. Triple threat cruiserweight match. Chavo wins again, defeats Mr. Rios and the Great Suzuki. 69 rated. Kidman's walking backstage. McGuinness and Daniels stop him. After some insult trading, Kidman is attacked from behind by Randy Savage. Then the rest of Team Madness join in. They hold Kidman up so Savage can get some cheap shots in. So this is going to lead to a Starrcade match. So it's quite a big Starrcade match for him. Billy Kidman's going to go one-on-one with Randy Savage. 68. One-on-one match. Conan picks up a win over C.W. Anderson with a zip lock. This got 72. Yeah, finally give Lex Luger a win. Defeats Norman Smiley with the torture rack. This one only got a 62. Steiner Warriors challenge Bagwell, and Shane Douglas. They accept. This match is going to take place on next week's Nitro, a rematch for the tag titles. 83 is pretty good. Juice and Liger defeat Psychosis at the Liger Bomb. 75. Good Mikado match. Very good Mikado match. The Exiles, who is the newly formed team of Steve Corino and Kid Cash. They defeat the Young Dragons and the Empire. It's got a 74. And again, another good mid-card match. contract signing between Lance Storm and Ric Flair. Dustin Rhodes is the host. Flair signs the contract, hands it to Storm, he jots his name down, and things that go easy as the two brawl. Classic contract signing brawl, 92. Main event. Booker T defeats Dustin Rhodes, and Dustin Rhodes got disqualified when going into an attacking rage. He's got an 80. Following the match, Mike Awesome hits the ring, destroys both Booker T and Dustin Rhodes. He sets up a table outside, grabs Booker and powerbombs him through the table. Mike Awesome isn't done just yet. He grabs Dustin Rhodes and proceeds to powerbomb him through the announce table. Mike Awesome stands tall in the ring, happy with the damage done. I got an 87. Main event. In a good match, Jeff Jarrett defeats CM Punk in a cage match. Jeff Jarrett escaped the cage. This got a 79. 83 overall for Nitro. So still building some storylines and the push towards Starrcade. So pretty good rating overall. This is probably where Chris Candido's returned from injury, suspension, whatever he was involved in. Right, Raw got an 84, Edge beat The Undertaker, we got an 83, so we're close on the old, I wouldn't say ratings, but quality performances. So Chris Candido's back. Forward we go. Rhino and Al Snow are officially going to be teaming as a regular team as Team Maestro. Okay then. Maybe they they're teamed up on Heat. Oh, great for them. WWE going to have Big Show and Scott Hall versus Benoit and Jericho. That'll be cool. Eddie Guerrero versus Triple H. WCW versus the World. Star performer was Jonah Laura. That will be China. She was in a Divas match that got a 51. Main event got a 58. Judrak and Stasiak over Air Raid. The raid is on. Way of the Warrior, Balls Mahoney. So nothing stands out to me personally. Keep flying through. Oh look, we're at Christmas. Russell Ward, Daniel Bryan was the main attraction. He beat Ricky Bandanas or Judas Messias. Styles over Stasiak in the main event. Alberto Del Rio's training for his MMA fight. Apparently that takes 4 months. So he's not against Tito Ortiz, I guess. 85 for Noah's pay-per-view. FWA are struggling financially. Oh no, they're not. They've expanded. They're regional now. They must have been small before, so they're up to regional. It's a UK promotion. Charlie Hassler on the rise. Alright, so that looks like us. We're now on the last Nitro before Starrcade. Okay, we're on the last episode of Nitro before Starrcade. Should hopefully fill in some more matches as well. So pre-show match. Young Dragons defeat SA Rios, Psychosis, Smiley and Crowbar. It's got a 57 pre-show. A heel versus heel match as a pre-show match. Finley defeats Barry Windham. It's got a 51. On to the main show. So we have a freestyle segment. A brawl erupts between Booker T, Mike Awesome, Dustin Rhodes, Jeff Jarrett, Sean O'Haire, CM Punk, Dusty Rhodes and Eric Bischoff. Decide we will have a 6-man tag tonight. It's got an 89. So it's going to be Booker T, O'Haire and Punk, the faces, against Dustin Rhodes, Mike Awesome and Jeff Jarrett, the heels. Monty Brown defeats C.W. Anderson with the Pounce, 71. Cruiserweight title defense, Billy Kidman defeats Christopher Daniels. Shooting Star Press has got 77. Following the match, Team Madness attack Kidman, but Rey Mysterio comes down to make a bit of a save. So with Savage against Kidman at Starrcade, we'll add another match. We'll have Rey Mysterio, but he's going to face Nigel McGuinness at Starrcade. A bit of a bonus match, I guess. Bit of an upset. Mason Red defeats Kid Cash in 35 seconds with a quick roll up. It's got a 60. Another big upset because Joe's not very high on the card yet, but Hugh Morris was not very happy about doing a job here. Samoa Joe beats Morris with a muscle buster. That's got a 67. Bit of a random tag match. Luger and Johnny B. Bad team up to defeat 2LK, thanks to some interference from Stacey Keebs. 71 is quite good. Carino makes an open challenge for any wrestler on the roster to face him in a singles match. DDP answers. Carino has second thoughts and bails. So a new feud beginning, and this match will actually take place at Starrcade between Steve Carino and Diamond Dallas Page. Tag title defense. Bagwell and Douglas defeat the Steiner Warriors in a rematch. Bagwell picks up the win. It's got 74. Following the match, Chronic come out and beat down everybody. So again, another match made for Starrcade. Three-way. So it's going to be Brian Adams, Brian Clark versus Shane Douglas, Buff Bagwell, Rick Steiner and Road Warrior Animal for the tag titles. Return of Candido here. Rey Mysterio defeats Liger and Candido. It's got a 75. Ric Flair, Storm, hyping their match for Starrcade. Square off, unhappy about something. The argument turns physical and chaos spills all around ringside. Officials and wrestlers have to pull them apart. It's got 99. Very good. Very good. So the main event. Mike Awesome, Jeff Jarrett and Dustin Rhodes defeat Booker T, CM Punk and Sean O'Haire when Awesome pins Punk with the Awesome Bomb. It's got an 88. Following the match, Bischoff makes a 6-pack challenge for the world title at Starrcade. So I've got to pre-book that now. So that is Mike Awesome, Booker T, Dustin Rhodes, Jeff Jarrett, Sean O'Haire and CM Punk. That is your world title match at Starrcade. Got an 88. And the go home show to Starrcade gets an 86. So yeah, pretty good build to Starrcade there. Probably one of my better Nitros by a long way. So we got an 86. Monday Night Raw got an 83. Eddie Guerrero versus Scott Hall got an 88. Oh god, interesting picture. SmackDown Live got a 91. Kurt Angle, Chris Benoit, 99 rating. Sometimes I think the Heat card's a lot better. Hot Property, David Flair. Okay, let's see how he's progressing. His stats are slowly getting better. And I mean very slowly. I mean he's only 22 to be fair. He's probably going to be in development for at least another 5 years. We'll see how he progresses. Flying with Ric Flair still going because it's obviously always good to do a storyline with Rick and David. WCW versus the World, AJ Styles. Jinrak Stasiak over Air Raid. Alright, what we got here? Anything interesting in the news? Nicole Bass there. She's quite scary looking. New champion in BCW, don't really. Wrestle War, AJ Styles again. Because he took on Evan Courageous to retain the title. Jidrak, the Cat and Saunders beat Paris, Noble and Danielson. Hot Property, Ron Killings, R-Truth. Ricky Morton's retired and he's actually fully retired. Oh, he starts his own wrestling school. Huh, it's pretty cool. Right, New Year's Eve, the last day in December. Starrcade will be up next. And then also the awards as well for 2001. Okay, Starrcade is booked. I've used the whole of the roster. Hopefully we're going to have a good show. Alright, so Joe, kind of a pre-show, just a warm up for the crowd. Joe beats Suzuki, Daniels, Cash, Rios and Red with the Muscle Buster, so building up Samoa Joe quite nicely. 65. 8-man tag, again just to get people used. Chavo, Hayes, Finley, Bad defeat Crowbar, Funk, Tanaka and Morris. Johnny B. Bad picks up the win. 63. Jerry Laura. Mike Tenay, welcome us to the show. This got 70. This got like the old fireworks, the pyro, the little intro. The whole shebang. Alright, first match on the official Starrcade card. Justin Liger defeats Yang and Psychosis. This was a cruiserweight match, of course, 72. The return of the tag combo, the Enforcers, C.W. Anderson and Chris Candido defeat 2LK, the Wyndhams and the Empire. So, a huge win considering 2LK was in the match. 71 I got. Randy Savage hyping his match against Billy Kidman. It's got 79. Bit of an upset here. Monty Brown defeats Lex Luger. It's got 63. Jerry Laura doing what Jerry Laura does best. Hosts a bikini contest between Dawn Marie, Stacy Keibler, Tori Wilson and Mage Guns. It's got 67. This is a very good match actually. Rey Mysterio versus Nigel McGuinness. Nigel McGuinness gets the win, 81. Randy Savage is a good pairing with Nigel, so he's a good manager for him. Yeah, 81's decent. Upset C, Billy Kidman defeats Randy Savage, followed by pinfall, following botched interference from Christopher Daniels. It's got a 70. Ric Flair hypes his match with Lance Storm, 99. Tag title defense, Bagwell and Buffy defeat Chronic and the Steiner Warriors when Adams was disqualified while fighting Buff. Bit of a cheap way to retain the titles, but they retained. 78. In an exceptional match, Ric Flair defeats Lance Storm by submission. Ric Flair wins the US title. This got an 89, probably my best rated match. For the match, several members of the roster come out and celebrate with Ric Flair. Charles Robinson being one, Conan, BG James, Hugh Morris, Tanaka, Hayashi, Duggan. I got a 100. Ric Flair, new US champ. DDP defeats Steve Corino. It's got an 81. The main event, the six-pack challenge. Booker T defeats Awesome, Rhodes, Jarrett, O'Hare and Punk after pinning CM Punk after hitting the scissors kick. It's a new world champ, Booker T. I got an 80. Following the match, Booker T collapses to his knees and the old confetti from the rafters for a feel-good moment to end Starrcade. 82 for Starrcade. Probably if I went with Ric Flair Lance Storm to headline, it might have got higher, but you know, you never know what's going to be the best match on the card. But I'm pretty happy with that. Overall, not a bad Starrcade. Probably better than some of them down the line. So I took the title off. Awesome. He's not really ready for it. It's not over enough, to be honest. So the change needed to be made, to be honest. Alright, let's have a little look, see. Got some returns here. Chris Kanyon, Scott Steiner. Got a couple of people's contracts coming up. But I kind of just wanted to double check how my openness is going. 68, that's not too bad. The US title is more over than the world title. The US title's overness is 90, the world is 85. Interesting. Right, let's go down the important bit, the awards. Wrestler of the Year, Chris Benoit. Company of the Year, WWF. Team of the Year, Triple H and Steve Austin, the two-man power trip. Match of the Year, Benoit versus Kurt Angle. Show of the Year, WWF King of the Ring. Young Wrestler of the Year, Jeff Hardy. Veteran of the Year, Tatsuma Fujuni. He works for New Japan Pro Wrestling, in case you didn't know. Female of the Year, Manu Toyota. She works for All Japan, I'm pretty sure. Hey, Independent Wrestler of the Year, Gangrel. Interesting, because he's a free agent. Manager of the Year, Paul Heyman. Announcer of the Year, Jim Ross. Color Commentator of the Year is the New Japan one. Referee of the Year is the All Japan one. Got some contracts coming up. Muta, Hayes' contract. Ooh, Mick Foley's contract's up. But Mick Foley's semi-active wrestler. That could actually be quite interesting. I might try and raid that. Try and get Foley. Or Cactus Jack as he was in WCW. So yeah, there's a few contracts coming up. I'll have a quick skim of the news, as there's quite a lot. See if there's any surprises. Jerry Lynn. I will definitely be going for Jerry Lynn, by the way. Alberto Del Rio's there. And Horace Hogan. Oh, pardon me. Jeez, I talk about all this news. New promotion. SCW, okay, Scottish I think. Luther Reigns there. Mr. Hughes, wow. Gilbert. But yeah, it looks like that's John Cena. That's it, we'll leave it on Jeff Hardy's picture. But yeah, that is the end of this video. We're now into 2002. The awards, I should probably go through the Power 500. It's a recap. Top 10. Undertaker's 10. Guerrero's 9. Rock's 8. Suzuki's 7. Kane's 6. Austin's 5. Jericho's 4. Triple H 3. Kurt Angle 2. Benoit is number 1. I can't even see a WCW guy. It's bad, isn't it? Technically, I suppose Hayes is the best WCW guy at 38. And then Ric Flair was 45. And then Jeff Jarrett 52. Booker T 53. Lance Storm 57. DDP 64. Dustin Rhodes is in there. So, yeah, that's it. Again, thanks everybody for joining me. I hope you've enjoyed. And as always, take care, guys.